But it ain't no lie, baby, bye, bye, bye. Fucking song's in my head, guys. It's right in my motherfucking head, and I can't get rid of it. Hi, welcome to this edition of the Halcyon live stream. My name's Lorne Risley, host of the show. How are you doing? Thank you for joining me this evening if you take the time. If not, and you're catching this some other time, thank you for joining me then. It's nice to see you. So, had a chat with Quill on, when was it? Sunday. Recorded Sunday, went live Monday. And he got some stuff off his chest, and that's great. Interview speaks for itself. I think he did a great job. I think he articulated his points really, really well. I think he spoke to a lot of his own frustrations, and he spoke to a lot of things intrinsic to his experience with the current state of the promotion in battle rap and just kind of the general feeling of battle rap overall in his mind. So, as a result, I got some pings. I don't know if he got any pings. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But I got some pings. And disagreeing largely with some of the assessments that we, because I made them too, made about it. So I thought it'd be useful to, number one, give fans an opportunity to clap back. Give other people an opportunity to clap back live. Because one of the things that I hate is when someone wants to make a point and then doesn't want to stand on that point, isn't prepared to debate the point, justify it, or at least let it stand up to any scrutiny. I'm a big fan of saying something because I can quantify it, because I can prove it, I have evidence to the effect. It isn't just something that I feel, it's something I can point to. I forget who said it, but someone once said you shouldn't believe things because you want to believe in them. I think it even was a Tyrion Lannister quote. But I love that. I love the idea that just because you like something doesn't mean you should believe in it. And just because you don't like something doesn't mean you should believe in it. And if we're all being honest, folks, battle rap this year has felt like a bit of a damp squib in the UK. A little bit. Let's go back to May. Luna C was on my show. And was quick to point out that he felt that the media hadn't covered Luna C's return particularly well. Okay, interesting turn of events. And then we have a number of events fall through for one reason or another. Got a lot of battlers doing a lot of other stuff, other projects, things of that nature, which is fine, I suppose. Except for none of it comes back to battle rap in any way, but they come back to battle rap. And then you've got a lot of guys. Quill said this, and I agree. The spaces thing. I don't understand it. Let me tell you why I don't understand it from the perspective of a fan, and I'm going to approach this like a fan for the moment as opposed to as a media member, and I'm going to talk about that aspect later as well, but let's talk about it from a fan's perspective first. When I jump on a space and I'm listening to a conversation being had amongst the battlers, none of it relates to promoting battles, none of it relates to selling tickets, none of it relates to ever filtering back through to the core thing that we're all here for, which is the battles, man. It's a gathering of friends. It's a conglomeration of a bunch of people that are happy to see each other, chat amongst themselves about stuff. And that's fine. WhatsApp's for that. Facebook Messengers for that. There's other mechanisms. A live space is something for the public, for fans to tune in and see. And yet, the only person really utilising the spaces to the effect, I would argue, is Gas Buff. And Gas Buff's still setting his stall out. I love Gas Buff to death, and he's working his fucking ass off to try and make things work over there. But I think that he's a guy who's still building a reputation. If you talk to a lot of the, quote, top-tier battlers, a lot of them don't rate him as a top-tier battler. So why would the fans, when they're quick to denigrate him on that basis? Now, I'm not saying they denigrate him in the sense of they're questioning his skill or ability, but none of them, including Gas, by the way, would say, he should definitely be headlining battles. He should be headlining cards. So when the only person doing anything of any note in terms of the promotion side of things is someone that the scene isn't even looking to for that level of interaction, that engagement, why would fans be engaged? Why would fans care? Or more to the point, and this is another one of Quill's points, why would anyone that's in passing care? I was reminded of this when he was talking, and he was talking about the busking element because he was gonna get flack for it or something like that, and he was saying like, "Oh man, I'm gonna get rinsed for this." But his point was largely like, when did we stop making people pay attention to battle rap. Now, again, Lunacy once said this, and we're cool now. It's long under the bridge. But he said, look, you don't contribute anything to battle rap at one point. Now, he was trying to hurt my feelings, but there's an element of truth to it. I don't cover battle rap as a journalist or a media member necessarily. I cover it as a fan of particular individuals, and occasionally I'll do live streams about the events or stuff that's on my mind or stuff like that. But it is fair to say that, I don't cover battle rap on a regular enough basis for me to really warrant saying I'm a pillar of the scene or I contribute. I don't. Cammy does a little bit more than me. London Jen does it a little bit more than me on a regular basis, I would say. Trubs obviously as well. But is there a bespoke media for battle rap? Someone that's feeding you information on a regular basis about the goings on in the world of battle rap, helping to not pique your interest, because again, that's not our job, I would argue, in media. In media, you're just meant to inform people. But nevertheless, part of our job is to make sure everything's collated in one place and cover it to a certain degree. And I would say that part of Quill's argument there falls to me, to people like Cammy, to Jen, to Trubs, to Battle on the Roof, to anyone that wants to cover the scene in any more detail, which is, I need to think about consistency. I was thinking about this yesterday, and one of the thoughts I had was, well, I could do something like a top 10 of the week, like 10, the occurrences of the week, and collate, bars, Twitter arguments, battles that come out, upcoming battles, announcements, projects of the battle, stuff like that. You could make a top 10 of the week easy and just do that once a week. My concern is twofold, however, and this leads back into the problems of battle rap. The clickiness. The fucking clickiness of it all. I'm still in the doghouse with a few key people. As a matter of fact, someone tweeted me earlier. I forget her name, but she's affiliated with No Loose Chat. She's one of the owners, and she said, "Have you tagged everyone?" Because I put it out there to say, "Hey, I think it's time for the promoters to sit down with me and have maybe a less than pleasant conversation. We need to answer some questions. We need to hold each other to account, because I'm throwing myself in this. If I'm going to consider myself a media member and intervene and all the rest of this sort of shit, then maybe I need to start holding myself accountable too. But first, it's got to start with the owners." The league owners, because these are the ones that ultimately are responsible for the promotion. They are responsible for the presentation of the product to the audience and the fans. They are the ones who are supposed to be finding the money to finance the events. They're the ones that ultimately make the decisions. And Shotty Horrors blocked me, so I can't really talk to him as an owner. Briggsy is as close as the leader or the head of Premier Battles that I can talk to, and he's really hard to get a hold of. As a matter of fact, I think I messaged him a month ago, 2 months ago. Haven't heard back since. Now, that's not a denigration. He's a stupid, busy guy with kids, a family, and a job. I get that. But there's no avenue there. Don't Flop, doesn't like me. And frankly, I don't like her. I think he's a bit of a fucking toolbox, to be honest with you. In every interaction I've had with him, save for one, where we were arranging him to come on the show. After that, he's been a fucking chore to deal with. But here's me. Here's the quote journalist side of things. That wouldn't be my goal. My goal would be to have him on, not to fucking personally attack the guy. It's like, right, you're the owner of a league. What's going on? Why aren't the events captivating people's attentions? Why? And this is the same for Prem. Maybe even Loose Chat. I hold No Loose Chat to a slightly less standard, by the way. No Loose Chat are still trying to find their feet in the consciousness of the battle rap audience in a wider sense. And some of their battlers are newer. Their style's a little different. Their promotional style's a little different. I'm not holding them to the same account as a Premier Battles, because Premier Battles had, backing and a sort of a startup name value, and Don't Flop's the foundation by their own admission. So they have enough of a track record by this point to be able to point to that and say you should watch us for this reason. So, but I am including No Loose Chat in the sense that I'd want to include as many leagues as possible in this debate and in this discussion, because they're all in the same boat, which is that fans at the moment don't seem that engaged on a regular basis, and even when they are, it's not on positive terms. And reaching new fans is becoming really, really difficult. And I've got my own theories for that. My number one theory is that if someone Googles or looks into the actual scene, it can be a bit of a fucking shit show. You also see legacy. In IT they call it legacy. Whenever something's out of date by like 5 years, they call it a legacy platform. or a legacy technology or whatever. YouTube is frankly legacy at this point. The fact that I'm streaming on YouTube now instead of on Twitch or another platform is indicative on me to say, wow, man, you've not really moved for the times either. Again, we all got to hold ourselves to account on this one. But the promoters, why are they still utilizing YouTube as a wing of their promotion when it doesn't draw money and it's not drawing views anymore either? Where are the other revenue streams? And if the argument is, well, there are none, okay, well, why are we still treating it like the presentation of the product hasn't evolved? The presentation of the guys hasn't evolved. The ability to reach new audiences that garner fresh interest, that also spawn new talent that speak to a current era, hasn't evolved. And the biggest problem in battle rap at the moment, and this is my take on the Quill debate, and obviously we see it through a very different prism. Quill has skin in the game. He's a former champion. He's put his ass into the promotion side of things far more than I'll ever do. He's also a skilled performer and a decent musician, and he has relationships with guys on a good level to be able to cultivate goodwill. I don't have any of those. I've got some interviews with a few guys. I'm friends with a few of the guys, and I just try and speak my mind. I just try and watch battle rap as a fan and tell you what I really think. I watched the Sharon Shuffle T battle. It wasn't a particularly iconic, legacy-defining battle in my eyes. I thought it was a decent showing for Sharon. Shuffle T could have done better. He seemed like he was kind of in between performances there. It wasn't his strongest performance. But I'll give Shuffle credit for putting in the fucking graft, man. He's got other things going on at the moment, and I frankly respect the fact that he still gives battle rap the time of day. Because, man, I think he's talented enough to be... And Quill made this point. A lot of the guys are talented enough to go off and do their own thing and never come back to battle rap. But they do, because ultimately I think they all have the same thing in common, which they love the art form. And the reason they love the art form is because it allows them to express themselves in a way that they don't get to in other art forms. Fans gravitate towards that shit too. So, but where is the disconnect? Where is the interest going? And I think Quill made this great point. We're going to the well with the same people. I'm now 34. I've been watching battle rap for the better part of 10, 12 years at this point. You got to get people that have been watching for a year, who've never been to an event that you could peek into going to an event. You got to start thinking about going to places where people might want to watch battle rap rather than just hosting it in the city you happen to be in. You've got to start appealing to those. What are they after? What could battle rap offer a new audience, a younger audience, a more vibrant audience, an audience that is more conditioned to a shorter attention span? I'm not saying they have shorter attention spans, but I am saying, though, that their platforms certainly are pushing shorter attention spans. Luna C made the point that his fucking his TikTok account isn't getting any traction because some bright spark already clipped up all this shit. Already beat him to the punch. He's not going to get a cut of any of that shit, even though he should. It's his fucking footage, or Don't Flop's footage. He's not going to see a penny of that, and that's not indicative of him. I understand it's impossible to keep on top of everything, but imagine what a promotion is losing. Imagine what some of the guys that run the promotions are losing because they just weren't. They were quite happy to say, we've always done it this way. And the other thing he raised, which was the taking a battle and touring it, man. I posed that, I think, to Shuffle T in my first ever interview. The first ever interview I ever did was with Shuffle T. And I think I remember asking him, like, why don't battlers get to tour their sets? Comedians get to tour sets. Musicians get to tour sets. Actors get to tour. Acting troupes get to tour their sets. Why don't battlers? And with the exception of just the fact that it's tradition and there's something to the art about, no, you only get the one opportunity, you don't get to fucking practice it and hone it. What the fuck? If we're really about the competitive element of it, okay, so this is where I come down on that, right? If you want to say it's the competitive element, why the fuck are you all friends with each other all of the time? This is the other thing that drives me mad about it at the moment, and this is why, as a fan, it infuriates me, because it's either all okay or it isn't. If you guys are going to beef with each other on Twitter, okay, I can dig with that. If you guys are going to be cool with each other on Twitter, but josh each other and it's all in good fun, I can get on board with that too. But the fact that guys sometimes pick and choose what, oh man, you crossed a line, man. Let me remind you, the reason I'm on the outs with some of these guys is because I had the temerity to A, make a joke at one point, fuck you, and the second time is I asked questions of a time where I felt like I was inclined to do so because everyone kept on telling me, take your opportunities. I was following the rules, man, but no, you're a fan. You don't get to do that. Cool. How do you think other fans are going to feel when they want to get involved in the discourse, now that you've made it open to people? It's the inconsistencies of the narratives of people that want to sit there and just spew bullshit for their own benefit. And as a result, fan interest is slowing down. Look at my streams as an example. I'll push this shit to as many people as I can. I'll tag in as many people as I can. And apparently, and again, I didn't give myself the moniker of media. That was the other people. I think it was Trubs. Trubs was the first person to kind of say, you're a media member. And like, that's not one I adopted. That's not one I went after. And yet, despite that, I don't think any battle rap audience really knows who I am. Not really. I think the battlers, when they're on my show, are known. And they get traction from that. And that's cool. That's great. I'm glad to contribute in that sense. But I think the only person that really is considered a media member, or a guy that really can direct people towards battle rap, is Trubs. And I'll be honest now, I find a lot of the presentation, I find a lot of the discourse, I find a lot of the way it's conducted boring. I find it boring because number one, the presentation of it all as it is, it's cute, but mate, it's not changed in 5 years. Mine's on par and I spend no fucking money on it. Come on, man. I'm a one-man band in a room with zero traction and zero following, and yet how am I matching you? Secondly, when it's presented with all the fucking enthusiasm of a fart in church, where's the fucking hype? As fans, I don't want to have to fucking guess why I should care about stuff. I don't want to have to sit and listen to someone drone on about bollocks that I don't care about. I want to get to the point. Why is this guy battling this guy, and why should I care? Why shouldn't I just skip it and watch it on YouTube for free when it doesn't benefit you and it draws you no revenue? Why do I have to buy a ticket? Why do I have to buy the Patreon? Why should I get invested in this? It's infuriating sometimes because I think one of the biggest problems as a result of that, like I say, is that accountability, right? Me posing that question rubs people up the wrong way, and it's like, yeah, cool. Prove I'm wrong then. Show me evidence where I'm wrong. You can't do it. That's what's really, it's just, we're coming back to the point I made earlier. You don't want to believe it because you don't want to believe it, not because it's true or factual. And that's what's really pissing me off. I've kind of been blind to this. I've been on the train and be like, no, I don't think it's that bad. And yet when Quill tweeted, it's quiet, I was like, yeah, it is. Like, Luna C came back this year. Luna C. Probably the biggest thing that happened to battle rap during that Don't Flop era, minus Shati Hara. And yet, he gave a great performance. It was Luna C. It was off the back of a great event, packed with talent. Did it generate any real traction? Did it make a new fan? Did it sell tickets to people that are going to then go to events forever who hadn't been before? That you can increase size of capacities? I don't think so. I could be wrong. But here's again the problem. I can't put this question to I can't put this question to a Shotty or anyone like that because they won't talk to me. Because they're not comfortable having the conversation. And as best I can tell, and this is when you know I'm really cutting promos now. I'm sorry. I didn't come on this expecting to cut a promo, but Quill's lit a fire under my ass. So he said he's the villain. No. I'm the villain. I'm the fucking villain here. Don't get it twisted. I watched an interview with as part of my preparation for the interview with him that we ended up not doing. I'll never forget him cutting a promo on his own fans. It was something to the effect of they're dumb or they don't understand. And it's like, right, I'm not a promoter. But the first thing I understand about my audience is I'm not supposed to fucking insult them because I'm supposed to be selling them to them. They are the ones who are always right. What they want is what you should be selling. Your job isn't to tell them what they should or shouldn't buy. That's not how business works. It's not how any successful business has ever worked. You provide a product that satiates a need, meets a demand, or satisfies a want. And if the audience isn't buying what you're selling, and your response is, well, they're dumb and they don't understand, I think the fucking ship has sailed, brother. I really do. And I don't think that's the same attitude on Premier Battle's side, but I do remember having conversations with some of the guys and posting some of these things about, well, couldn't you try this? Couldn't we do this? And it's always, yebba, 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 yebba. Great. So if we're keeping things the same, how is anything going to change for the better? And the argument there is, well, things, because I post this to Quill, again, this is my journalistic integrity kicking in, because I really am trying to see the positives on both sides. I'm trying to understand it, trying to recontextualize it where I'm missing something. That's why I'd love someone to come on and have an argument with me, frankly, because then I get to have my views challenged. I don't just get to sit here and yell at you and have this clipped up by people that say, oh, he doesn't know what he's fucking talking about. I get to actually have the views tested in real time. I get to have another opinion set to me. But again, not what they want. Certainly not what I want. I don't know about Briggsy. The interview I had with Briggsy was fairly benign, all things considered. We just talked about his career, talked a little bit about Premier Battles. Now, though, I know it would be a different type of conversation, frankly. It'd be a harder conversation to have, because part of it would be, why aren't things growing? Where is the excitement? Where is the development? Where is the investment in a new era of battle rap? The next progression to the next level. I don't know if he'd have an answer for me, because again, I feel like the questions would be ultimately resolved with a, well, you know, it's just the way it is. I won't name the person, but the person who DM'd me something to the effect of, like, we all got families, man, and we're all trying to just live our lives. I get that, but that wasn't the point Quill was making. So I tell you what, let me take a break from my tirade and look at the comments. So RX Southside's tuned in. I hope to have you on soon, brother. It'd be good to have you on again, considering met you in person, you seem like a cool dude, and you've been absolutely fucking killing it. Raz Ren's here. Raz Ren, again, promotion fucking, again, do you know what? I'll throw Raz Ren in, because Raz Ren works his fucking nuts off to try and promote his shit, so I'll give him props for that. But 33 Steps has been, would have loved to have seen a Prem versus Don't Flop event. Why hasn't that happened? Right, that's a great question. I've asked this. Want to know why I'm so excited for Gem versus Bizzo? Because it's Don't Flop versus Prem. Basically, I get it's a Premier Battles event, but it's the Don't Flop champion going against the Premier Battles champion. And yet, neither promotion wants to fucking steer into that shit. Why? Why would you not consider the promotional element of a controversial figure like Gemini coming into your promotion to take what you've got? Biz is a professional. He's a businessman when it comes to this shit. I don't know, and I'll have to put this to him, because again, we're going to have to just have uncomfortable conversations at this point. What would it take for him to break? What do I have to do to get him to really get invested in the promotional side of things from a direct aspect of an audience member? Because look, with all due respect, I've been thinking about this again. Biz's promo the other day, I thought it was funny. It definitely got my attention, but for the wrong reasons, because I was genuinely worried, like, oh shit, he's going to fall out. The value of my ticket has just fucking nosedived. That's great. But his point was trying to diffuse the accusations of him being boring. Quill made the point, like, his response is to tell people he's boring. I don't know how successful that tactic can be. I know Volkanovski used that tactic recently in MMA. Dude got knocked the fuck out, if memory serves, and is now on the downward slide of his career. I don't know if that's a sound promotional tool, especially when, and look, on any other day, on a more lighter card, on a smaller card against a different opponent, maybe that style of promotion works. But as a fan, man, I want to see these guys really going after it, not only for themselves, but for their promotions. I want them both saying, no, Don't Flop is the best. No, Prem's the best. I'm the better champion. No, I'm the better champion. Well, I guess we'll have to see, because now you've got the reputation of not just you and your title, but your entire division, your entire promotion. What do we think about that? As a fan, it'd be impossible to not pay attention to that. And yet, I know, and again, This is the vindictiveness of you better believe he ain't promoting this shit. He's not going to promote his champion, despite the fact that it's his champion. Gemini's going to have to pull the weight of that on his own fucking back. Prem are happy to mention it's the Don't Flop champion because, of course, if he loses, they can say, rightfully so, well, clearly we have the better promotion, the better title, and the better champion. We're now the lineal UK battle rap league. Like, it's ours to lose now. I can understand that. But as far as the competitive element, the edge of the actual reason a lot of us fell in love with battle rap to begin with wasn't necessarily how clever the lines were. It's part of it, but the artistry was imbued with this sense of danger, this impending sense of violence, this notion that these words will carry weight sufficient enough to move this person to anger, to tears, to set the crowd, to incite the crowd, to win them over, to set them on fire, whatever. It doesn't feel like that now. It feels more like, and I'm not saying Prem were wrong to do this, because I think this is partly Prem's fault. And fault's a strong word, but it's the word I'll use. They fostered a community. They fostered this element of, we're all in it together, and we're all mates, and all the rest of it. And that's why my promo when I kicked off in February was so vitriolic, because it's this thing of, well, if we really are all in it, why does every dissenting opinion get smacked down like a fucking bad habit? Why is no one allowed to question things? Why is no one allowed to put anything in a way that makes sense from a fan's perspective? Why does it have to be on the terms of the promotions and the battlers? And is it any wonder that when the battlers and the promoters, and they do this all the time, and I've had this done to me again. I love Bobby to death, but his jib at me of my shit battle rap takes. Maybe they're shit from a battler's perspective, but I'm the fan. It's my money that you're angling for, ultimately, and I'm probably representative of a bunch of people because fans aren't necessarily that diverse in their wants. They all tend to gravitate towards the same thing within a fandom. In UFC, it's a love of violence. In sport, it's tribalism. It's a love of an expression of passion. It's a religious element. It's all sorts of different, very personal things that make an attachment to a community. In gaming, it's this competitive element of I must be better, or it's a storytelling element. Same with movies. There's always something intrinsic that links the fandom. And in battle rap, I think it's always been the conflict. The community was just the icing on the top when you could hit that RPM, when you could hit that sweet spot, when battles really did captivate the imaginations of people because they felt real and they felt visceral and they felt fucking just, oh, I can't believe he just said that. How the fuck is he going to, what's he going to do? Is he going to be able to hold it together? And there was just always this sense of it just simmering on the surface, and it could any point, and it sometimes did fucking explode, and suddenly, boy, we got ourselves some real life shit. We got something to invest in. We got a story. We got something to actually see how it unfolds and care about, because something might happen to the guys. You don't have that now. You don't have that now. The two events I've been to for Prem, the only time that felt like it might happen was Quill with Shotty. That was the only time, and it was the battle everyone ended up talking about afterwards, beyond Shotty and Shuffle's battle itself. And even that one, man, let's be honest, there's a lot of talk about the fandom that Shotty lost that. I don't see anyone on Prem. I don't see anyone on that side talking about it. Why? Well, various reasons, but you can understand why you're going against the guy that owns the promotion isn't the wisest political move, and there we are. Politics over what's best for business. And if someone can't admit to something that's objectively obvious to everyone watching, that's when you're going to start to see people go, do you know what? Click. Why do you think... The best example I could give you is a lot of the shit that's going on in classic media, because battle rap isn't unique in this. A lot of media has this, or genres of media has this fucking problem where it likes to tell audiences what they want rather than listening to what they want and giving it to them. Football attendances, football viewership declining over year, specifically with the younger demographics, and it's, oh, well, the young people aren't interested in football anymore. Nah, No, they love football just as much as they ever did. They can't fucking watch, though, because you priced them out of it. Well, that's terrible. What can you do? You could lower the prices. You could make it affordable for them to watch. Nah, we're not going to do that. Wrestling. From 2007 all the way through to maybe 2000 and... Fuck. Let's be generous. Really? Even with the NXT era? Let's say wrestling didn't really peak until AEW reared its head. And that was after a decade and a half of Vince telling people, you don't want Dolph Ziggler, you want Sheamus. You don't want Rusev, you want... I don't know. I can't even remember who they were. Fucking Roman Reigns for the longest time. You want blue contact lens wearing, oh so pretty bearded Roman Reigns, even though he's done nothing. We've booked him like an absolute twonk. You want John Cena. You don't want CM Punk. Don't be silly. And then one day, everyone started cheering for Daniel Bryan, and they pushed Daniel Bryan, still ground their feet a little bit, and then suddenly, boom. One of the highest attended WrestleManias, one of the highest rated WrestleManias, one of the most fondly remembered WrestleManias, and a WrestleMania that set a trend that's now going to live on from eternity, which is that the 10s are always events that have to end in a happy ending now. Always. It's almost like the audience is telling you what to do. And here's the biggest thing that I can say about that, and this is where I have to turn the finger to you, the audience. Where do you go? Where do you go to express this discontent? Or where do you go to say what does and doesn't tickle your pickle? Because this is where I've got to give the promoters a bit of slack here. Promoters are only as good as the feedback that they get. If it's just in the comment section of a video where it's just, haha, he got 3-0'd. What's a promoter supposed to do with that? When the battlers are only just here. And again, I'm not criticizing the battlers for this, but I think fans are really guilty of this. Not every battle can be fire. Not every battle can be the sickest battle you've ever seen. Not every battle can be battle of the night. Not every round can be round of the night. Fans have got to start being more objective about this shit. Fans have got to start being a bit more balanced. Can't just be scrutinizing everything that's trash and then praising everything because it's fire. There has to be a middle. There has to be, yeah, that was pretty good. That wasn't so great. But that bit was good. I liked that bit. Wasn't so keen on this bit. And then they have to filter that back somehow. Quill made the point of there used to be the forum before that became toxic. And that was before my time. I never used the forum. His stories about it all the time, though. So the fact that it was a place that everyone knew to go to whenever something kicked off in battle rap, or something was rumored, or something was going on, we missed that too. I put the vote out. Let me pull my vote out. Because, again, I want to listen to... Again, this is why I ask these questions, man. Because I'm trying. I really am trying to listen. It's hard, though. Because, again, I'm either not trusted or people don't like... Again, I'm not liked within the community. I'm not trusted as a level head or a person with decent opinions. Or I'm not liked because I say and do things that people don't like me saying and doing. Okay, that's fine. But that's only as a result of me not being able to tap into what you guys do and don't want. I try and interview the people that I think you want me to interview. I try and talk about the subjects that I think you want me to talk about when I have something to say about them. But frankly, it's a lot of flailing in the dark. So that's in defense of promoters. The other thing I would say in defense of promoters is because of that anonymity and that inability to be able to gauge an audience's interest, I've got to be honest, man. What else are promoters supposed to do when booking events other than go by, I don't know, who they think are the biggest names? Fans have got to be the ones that have got to speak the loudest on this. They're the ones who have got to demand battles and demand new guys get their opportunities and force them to forge new cards and new... Battlers can only do so much. I mean, like I said, take Gas Buff as an example. That boy is working himself into the fucking ground, not only doing his wrestling spiel, probably working full-time doing something else. He's got a personal life too, and he still finds time to promote his shit. He's not going to get anywhere unless people buy tickets to see him and tell the promoters, hey man, I bought a ticket to see fucking Gas Buff today, man. That guy is fucking sick. You need to book him on another event. I'll buy a ticket to that event. If he's got merch, you need to buy the fucking merch too. There's no way around it, man. Like, this is why it's... Quill called it an emergency meeting or an intervention. And it's not just the battlers that are on... again, the person that DM'd me was like, it's not all on the battlers. And he's right. It isn't all on the battlers. It's not all on the media. It's not all on the promoters. It's not all on the fans. We're all kind of let this happen to a certain degree, and all of us have a hand in changing it. Let me just pull up the vote, because again, I want to use it, because again, you guys were kind enough to vote. 17 votes in total. So I asked, as far as bespoke media for battle rap in the UK, who would you say provides the most trusted, consistent, and quality coverage week in, week out? Suggestions I missed, if you like, as well. No one gave me any suggestions for any I missed, so maybe I covered it, maybe I didn't. I would say that the 4 I listed are probably the best choices. I don't count myself. Again, maybe that changes. We'll see. But for now, these are the 4 I picked. Battle on the Roof, London Gen, The Plug TV, and Cammy. The Plug won. With nearly half the vote. With all due respect, like the trust issue, I would say there is that's a fan. That's on the fans, because Trubs is a paid employee of Premier Battles. I don't know how you can trust someone that's got a vested interest in one of the promotions and not the other. Can you trust him to cover Don't Flop and No Loose Chat as well as he covers, or as... I don't know. I just know that conflict of interest probably shouldn't be there if we're counting him as a media member. But if we are counting him as a media member, that's an indictment on the fans for picking him. If he's the one you're trusting to build hype for everybody and for everything in battle rap, well, you know, that's that. That's a fan issue. But coming back to this, the promotion issue. By the way, let's see. I'm curious. There's someone ha-haing this chat right now. There's someone ha-haing it. Now, come on, Petal. Comment. Let me know who you are. Stand up and be seen. Let me see you. Go on. Let's see. Because this is the other thing, man. I'm tired of the indirects, man. I'm here. I'm looking you dead in your eye right now. And you look so goddamn good. Come on. Let me know who you are. Put a comment in. Go on, do me a favor. Plus engagement. Call me whatever you like. I don't care. It's fine. My name's Lorne. Fucking worse can it get? I've been called a virgin Mormon in a suit by someone that I now consider quite a close friend. So, there you go. Where the fuck was I? But this is the point, right? So I've got people watching right now. I need to hear. Like, it's all well and good me yelling into the ether for an hour, which where are we? 37 minutes. I've got 20 minutes to go. But really what matters is what you guys think. What the fans think. The people that are going to pay money to see this stuff. What do you think? What could be better? What do you want to see? What are you not seeing enough of at the moment? What don't they do anymore? What do they do that they should be doing more of? Who are they not booking? Who are they booking? There's nothing wrong with saying a lot of this stuff. Because ultimately, man, if we're too worried about hurting feelings at this point, again, I think we're looking at things the wrong way. I've long since come to fucking acknowledge the fact that I'm not going to be popular with certain elements of the battle rap community, man. So I just got to say it how I think it is. That's the point I want to stress. I'm not saying this is how it is, period. That makes it sound like I've got some inside track that I don't have. I'm going to tell you what I think. And right now, it's hard to get excited for battle rap events when the promoters don't seem to be promoting it in a way that resonates with me, and I imagine other people that aren't hardcore fans. It's hard to get invested from a new person's perspective. I've seen it when I've been I tried to pitch someone today as actually, hand to God, this happened today, work colleague. I'm pontificating the benefits and the fucking wonder of battle rap in general. Man, I'll tell you what you should do. Let me buy you a ticket to Apex. I'll come pick you. I'll drive us. I'll park us. I'll introduce you to a few of the people I know so you don't have to feel it's just me and you. We'll grab a beer. We'll watch a few of the battles. It'll be great. It'll be a lot of fun. I'll think about it. I'll tell you what. No. Right, don't think about it. Go home and watch something to familiarize yourself with it. Go home and watch the compliments battle from Shuffle T and Marlowe. Just watch hit their half. Shout out to Lefty and Big J. I know that they were part of that battle, but the thing that everyone tends to refer to in that battle is Shuffle and Marlowe's round. Just try and see yourself in the room when they were doing that as a comedic show, as a show of skill. I did my best, man, but it wasn't a sell. Like, you could see that the eyes were glazing and thinking, all of the things I could be doing instead of that. And that shouldn't be the thing, man. Quill was right in the sense of they should be doing They should be trying to pilot things and do things that Captain Steve, comment again, because the comment is currently obscured by the heart in my screen, so I can't actually read the second word you've put there. Are you saying... Oh, right, cheers. Right, so Captain Steve, are you saying Burt Bacharach or Battle Rap? Burt Bacharach. Burt Bacharach. What's Burt Bacharach? What's Burt Bacharach? Burt Bacharach. What's that? I gotta know now. No, I can't use that because it'll kill my internet. Right, what is that? Burt what? Burt. Back what? American composer and songwriter. Dude's dead. Died a year ago. He's a composer. I don't know of him offhand. I definitely said battle rap though. Good question. No, definitely battle rap. Definitely battle rap, Captain Steve. Definitely battle rap. But anyways, back to the fans. So like I say, man, I'm a fan, and I try and give feedback all the time, but I'm shouted down, or I'm told my ideas are shit or stupid and all the rest of it. And I gotta take issue with that, because Steve, you're derailing me here, buddy. You're completely derailing me. But I mean, it's engagement. I'm wondering where again. I'm wondering. This goes back to my promo in February, man. It's the same reason everyone was happy to DM me support. Bobby and P Soldier were the only two people, I think, and Blizzard actually, who publicly came out and said, actually, nah, Lorne's a good dude. Lorne's not full of shit. 2-3 people, and fucking about 300 people watched that stream from start to finish, baby. I checked the fucking analytics. I checked the views, but I'm much more interested in the analytics these days, how much people are actually watching for. And baby, that promo was like a fucking, it went like that, and it went all the way, and it didn't stop until I fucking stopped the stream. So I know people watch, and I know people saw my thoughts. I don't see a lot of people clapping back, which tells me again that people aren't comfortable expressing these things. And if people aren't, and again, that's where battlers and promoters do need to look at themselves again. If your fans and your consumers aren't comfortable expressing their true feelings about how they really feel about what you're doing, I don't know. I feel like I'm feeling like, cheers. Appreciate it, Steve. This is nice. See, Steve says I'm a decent guy. He may or may not be wrong. Who knows? I'd like to think I just do my best to try and be truthful and speak my mind and not placate people. If I give someone praises because I really believe it. If I denigrate them, it's because I think they could be doing better. The reason I talk smack about Trubs in particular is because he went personal on me. And I thought that was always kind of bullshit. And the fact then that he's trusted as a media member and heralded as a promoter, again, speaks volumes to me about the candidacy of the people in battle rap at the moment. Yeah, maybe they've put effort in. Doesn't necessarily make them the right people for the job. I don't know, man. And look, here's how I'll end this, because this is me getting fully exacerbated and maybe subscribing again to something else Quill said. Maybe it's done, man. Maybe battle rap's done. Maybe it's not going to reclaim anything like it was, and worse, it'll just taper off. It'll just be a few last couple of guys that do it kind of as a hobby, rather than these fantastic exhibitions of skill and panache from fucking creative, talented live performers who can come up with unique and interesting ways to say things that people have maybe said and thought before, but in a completely different way. I was put in mind of fucking Tony D today when there was an Eminem. People are cutting up and splicing Eminem tracks from the latest album, saying how much of a genius Eminem is. And there's a con bar in it, so it's con scribe and con vibe and da 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 da. Bitch, Tony D did that in 2013, fucking in front of a live crowd of about 200 people, eviscerating the current champion O'Shea. I saw that shit. I lived that shit vicariously through that crowd, and I was so fucking enthralled and impressed. It was impossible not to fall in love with Tony D's skill there and then. What a fucking performer. Imagine the next Tony D doesn't get an opportunity to come around. Imagine the next Shotty Horror doesn't have an opportunity to come around. Imagine the next Luna, the next Shuffle, the next Biz, the next fucking Gem, the next Quill, the next Bobby, the next Kojay, the next fucking Yunnan, the next P-Soldier, the next fucking Shufflo. All of these guys who wouldn't have had the opportunity to do what they're doing today had people just fucking tried shit. Let's try an April Fool's. Let's try putting on a live event in a bar instead of an underpass. Let's try streaming it on YouTube. Let's try monetizing it and putting it on Patreon. Let's try touring this shit in America. Let's try merchandise and really exploiting Facebook. Let's try this and bam, 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 bam. And look at the success. One of the great things of talking to Kruger was like just charting his success, man, and how much shit he's worked on. And that motherfucker ain't slowing down anytime soon. There's a guy that will try fucking anything if he thinks it will bring him creative fulfillment or success. And I admire that. I love that spirit. I love that passion. But there's a man that's had his fingers burnt by this fucking genre. Here's me crying a sob story about how I've been fucking maligned by battle rap at times. I got nothing on Kruger, man. And yet he still has a reverence for this genre, like unlike anything I could ever emulate. So yeah, this is where I come off, man. If fans disagree with me, if promoters and battlers disagree with me, and the other media members disagree with me about my assessments made with Quill and on this show, okay, it's just me. This is another one of Riz's shit battle rap takes. Cool, I'll deal with that. I'll either taper off and not watch anymore, like a lot of people have, or I'll find something else to apply my passion to that hopefully can still contribute to battle rap in some small way. Again, the interviews, maybe. I'm seriously thinking about piloting this top 10 thing. I'll do my best to try and put something together on a weekly basis, but the thing with it is, it would be great to have access. It'd be great to get some feedback from the leagues and the battlers to say, hey, Lorne, I don't suppose you can mention this in the show this week. It's a thing. We're going to announce it. Trubs gets that. Rightly so. He's got the in with Prem, which is fair. And a lot of the battlers trust him, I suppose. So maybe that's already cut. Maybe that's a waste of time. Maybe that wouldn't be entertaining or engaging for any of you. I'm just thinking out loud. But that's just me. But if anyone agrees with anything I've said at this point, specifically the battlers, and I'm not going to assume the promoters are. I think, again, a lot of the stuff I've posed here is going to be just dismissed. That's fine. They don't care about me and not buying tickets to an event going forward. They don't care about me and not covering their battles and battlers and all the rest of that sort of stuff. That's fine. That's fine. But I think the fans do. And I think this is my final thing. It's a plea to the fans, man. Actually fucking speak your mind. Actually fucking tell them what you really think. Tell the promoters why you're not going to buy this event. Tell them why you're not interested in a certain battle. Tell them what you would be. Tell them what you would pay to see. And then fucking pay to see it. Support it. Stop making excuses and just watching it on YouTube if you actually care, for one. Support them how they need to be supported. This is a cyclical... This is why I'm saying it's an intervention for everybody, man. From the media's perspective, if I really care about battle rap, I've got to do more than just interview people when I can get a hold of them. I'll try and dream up a show that I can do on a regular basis that I can say, here, I'm trying to do my best to draw attention to battle rap. Not promote it. It's not my job. But to draw attention to it and to have a place that people can come to get a roundup of everything. So they've got a place to go. So they can then have an understanding and a fucking awareness of what's going on beyond what they might have on their timeline. Okay, that's me. The promoters need to look themselves in the mirror and say, right, are we doing well enough at the moment? And if the answer is no, they need to be prepared to answer, sit down and answer some serious questions rather than just hear how well they're doing all the time. The battlers need to hold themselves a bit more accountable to the level of promotion and the way they promote themselves. Don't just hop on a Spaces and chat with your mates for half an hour to an hour about shit that fans don't care about. Give them something to care about. And as far as the fans, again, there's that. Just be honest. Start placating the promoters and the battlers and they're not buying. And they're not buying tickets, and they're not buying the Patreon, and not subscribing, and all the rest of this sort of stuff. Get word of mouth out. Share it. Again, sharing is the way. Liking and commenting is great, but share the shit. Actually put it in the hands of someone that you think might want to watch it. Because it's not too big to fail, baby. Battle Rap could be consigned to the pages of history any day. And just be this niche little thing that happens maybe once a year. Maybe they just do anniversary shows going forward. Who the fuck knows? I know I don't want to see that. In an ideal world, man, I want to see battlers earning money to be able to do this shit full time. I want to see promotions being able to earn enough money to be able to put on productions. Regular content. Make shows like mine obsolete because they've got their own. The Don't Flop podcast has about the same level of production as me. And that's a channel with over 500,000 subscribers. What the fuck? Prem I don't think has anything. They used to do podcasts and stuff. I don't think they do a podcast now. And even if they do, I don't fucking know it. And I follow Battle Rap. Obviously not promoting it very well if they don't have one. If they do have one. And if they don't have one, why not? Why is it beyond the realm of possibility for you guys to hop on once a week or once a month and just tell the fans what's going on? There's a lot of things wrong right now. Really, if we're being truthful and honest, there's a lot of things good. Again, I enjoyed Checkpoint 5 apart from the fact that it was under a fucking train track that ruined half the battles and that it was fucking 10.5 hours long. But the battles were great. The battlers were great. The vibe of the event was fun. Quill didn't kill me for knocking a beer out of his hand. Luna was an absolute gentleman. Can't speak more highly of Luna C, man. And at the moment, it's hard to see why a Luna or a Shotty or someone of that ilk would see the sense in coming back on a regular basis. And all of those factors have got to conglomerate if you want to see some of this stuff happening, man. I do. I'd love to see battle rapping much more. I'd love to see my show consigned to the depths of history before battle rap is. I'd love to see, like, hey, Lorne, didn't you do a podcast at one point where you talked about battle rap? Ah, yeah, that was ages ago. And then battle rap took off again. And I became irrelevant because why would people come on my show when Prem has got 20,000 subscribers and they have a podcast? When Don't Flop has a podcast and they've got great production values, 500k. No Loose Chat's putting on events and they do live streams at the events. Gas Buff's killing it. Quill's doing a thing. Bobby's doing a thing. Bizzo's doing a thing. Gemma, and it's suddenly like, wow, the scene doesn't need someone like me. That would be great. Frankly, I could go back to doing interviews with whoever it was I pleased. And I don't think I'm saying anything necessarily controversial, and yet there's a part of me that's thinking, oh man, I know I'm going to be pissing certain people off when I say this. And it sucks that that's the case, that there's just not enough people that can take a valid piece of criticism in this fucking genre. So, that's that. Promoters, listen to your fucking fans. Fans, talk to your fucking promoters, and battlers, give them both something to fucking think about. And as far as the media, so me, Cammy, Jen, Trubs, Battle on the Roof, fucking everybody else, we should probably do a better job of showcasing everything. I don't think promoting it, again, it's not our job, but we should definitely be doing a better fucking job of showcasing everything on a regular basis, that the fans have somewhere to go. One of us needs to take up the mantle then on a regular basis. I don't think it should be me. I think I'm the worst choice out of the lot, to be honest with you. If we're 5 choices, I should be right at the bottom of that fucking list. Out of the 4 that's left, man, I don't know. I'll leave it to you. Anyways, ranted for long enough. That's 54 minutes of an incoherent rant. I was going to go big as well. I was going to go stats and shit. I was going to go on to fucking verse tracker, and I was going to compare and contrast the battlers average to the most recent battles to showcase like the decline of viewership, for instance. You can do that yourself though, it's fine. You can that's homework for you. And seriously, whoever's been ha-haing the whole chat, coward, I'm calling you a coward. Yeah, bitch. You know, comment, say it was you. I'm gonna you whoever it was. This is it. Everyone that sees this now will know this forever. Whoever was ha-haing this the whole way through, you were consigned to the pages of history as a bitch. He's a bitch, man. He's a little bitch. Not saying, oh, it was me. I just thought it was funny ha-haing the whole way through. And I know it's not because there's anything. I didn't say anything funny in this whole fucking live stream. Objectively not fair. There it is again. There it is again. You fuck. You git. I hate you. But still, actually, it's probably doing wonders for my algorithm. Everybody, go on, smash that. Smash the heart thing. I'm going to do it. Can I smash it? Where is it? There. Can I just click it? Ah, I can just click it. Look at that. So we're ha-haing and flowers. Ah, everyone click the thing. Ah, isn't that fun? That's cool. I'm going to just give myself flowers. I gave myself flowers. I didn't get nomination for fucking Media Member of the Year. I'm not bringing that up again. Fuck it, I'm bringing it up again. That'll be my last point. Yeah, if you ever wanted an objective view of that, fuck, man. I had the stats in my head. I think I did 80 to 90 videos on Battle Rap in the period between April of 2023 and April of 2024, which was more than all of the other guys combined. It's like, yeah, Lorne's not a media member for Battle Rap, and he's not the most prolific media member of the year. Ha. Fucking. Yeah, but you haven't been in it long enough. You've not been in Battle Rap long enough. I'm like, oh, okay, so being a media member now means I have to be around long enough to... I have to be around for a certain period of time before I can cover it with media. Okay, fair enough. Except for not, but whatever. Anyways, that'll about do it. So RX, I doubt you're still around, but I appreciate you tuning in if you tune back in. 33 steps, that's a great question. That's probably the best question I've been asked in a live stream so far, because it's one with an obvious answer that just no one wants to talk about. Razren, gentlemen, appreciate you as always, my friend. Keep the plugs coming for the new music that I've seen. It's great stuff. And of course, Captain Steve, appreciate you commenting. And do I do any rapping? Absolutely not. Captain Steve, for everybody, by the way, is he's a friend of mine. We used to work together, actually, in two places. Big IT guy, way smarter than me. Always has been, always will be. So it's nice to see him popping up. He's also got a cracking little YouTube. His YouTube channel is pretty sweet. You should go and check out his YouTube channel. He was the one who was trying to teach me how to do YouTube back in the day, like how to get proper subscribers and, you know, actually benefit from the algorithm. I just ignored everything he said and decided, nah, I'm just going to make crap instead. And here I am. So yeah, go and subscribe to Captain Steve. He does some good shit. So Steve, my friend, it's good to hear from you and it's good to see you pop up. But no, I don't do any rapping. No, I'm a talentless hack. That's why I do live streaming and podcasting, bitching about shit, because I've got nothing tangible to offer. So yeah, let's keep chugging. I understand Trubs is doing something because, of course, I don't think it's a coincidence he decided to hop on at 8:30 right around the time Danny Jack wanted to do a live spaces. Fucking clicky bullshit, man. Honestly. Anyways. That'll do it for this edition of the Halcyon Show. Thanks for joining me. My name's Lorne, host of the show. Please like, share, and subscribe. And of course, again, man, go tell the promoters. Go tell them what you really think. Tag them, tweet them, DM them. Tell them what you want. Tell them what you don't like. If you got a set of balls on you and you fancy setting your fucking setting fire to your bridges, tell Shotty to come on this fucking show. Let's have a proper conversation. Tell Briggsy to come on this show. I can't get a hold of him. Nice guy. We're on decent terms. Just can't get a hold of the guy. Stro, I don't. He's suffered enough. Poor Stro suffered enough. He doesn't need any more. He doesn't need any more. My fucking. Got a lot of time and respect for Stro. I'm not picking on him anymore. Fuck it. Tweet her. Tell her to come on. Say, hey, Lorne's got some tough questions for you. What do you think? Man enough to accept the challenge? I don't know. I doubt it. Actually, I do have the name now. I can pull that up. Hang on. By the way, I didn't, because I don't count myself. I would have been fascinated to see how many votes I would have got. As like a quote trusted media member. I wonder if I'd have gotten any votes. Find that interesting. It's an interesting question. I feel like me posing a survey and me putting myself as one of the answers though is a bit of a dick move. But let's go back. Right, so Queen P at Paris1, who, according to this, is 1/3 owner of No Loose Chat. She tweeted saying, like, have you reached out to her? And I was like, yeah, I tagged everyone. No one came back to me, but we'll see. She said that she'd watch the Quill interview and then maybe come back to us. So we'll see. We'll see if she'll accept an invite onto the show. She can watch this, she can watch that, and tell me I'm full of shit if she thinks so. She can tell me where she agrees, but explain where some of the problems are, and we can try and work some of the shit out. Maybe. I see some positivity there, but I think the chances of her answering any questions, being held to any kind of account, fucking non-existent. And I think Shotty doing the same thing, fucking non-existent. So I think this was ultimately just me ranting incoherently for an hour as always. But it's been lovely of you to join me. So thank you very much for watching this edition. Do take care of yourselves. Like, share, and subscribe. Tag the promoters. Tag the battlers. DM them. Tell them what you want. Let's fucking fix this, man. Battle rap's sick. Battle rap's sick when it's done right. Let's do it right more often, man. Let's go after it. Have a great rest of your evening. Haven't got anything scheduled as far as more live streams and interviews right now. I have a few interviewed licenses. I've bought 4 per month now. So, yeah, Zoom is a bitch, and they either charge you £20 for unlimited, or they charge me £6 for 4. So I chose 4 to save a little bit of money this month. So I potentially have 3 more interviews that I can get lined up, but I need to line them up first. So we'll see what happens as a result of this Quill and this. We'll see. I doubt very much the next interview you see will be of any of the people that I mentioned, but you never know. So thank you for joining me. Please do take care of yourselves. And I guess that's all that's left to say is I'll see you maybe on the next edition of the Halcyon Show.